Hello, I'm Genesis, and welcome back to the By Girls for Girls website, or to my YouTube channel, because this is technically a YouTube exclusive video. Since this is Thanksgiving and kind of a special video for me, I'm going to post it on both mediums. So today we're going to be talking about some of the books that I am completely and utterly thankful for. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into it. Okay, so the first book that I have here is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This book got me into fantasy, which is crazy to say because I feel like I've been reading fantasy for so long, but this book is what started it all for me. Seeing this girl, Mare Barrow, that assumingly had no power at all and was very poor and stuff, on the wrong side of the tracks, as you would say, have these lightning powers and then take down these bad guys, and then that plot twist, and it was like, oh my, I gotta keep reading this. And then I did, and I kept reading this book, and I was like, there's gotta be some good stuff out there in other places. And I guess that's just how I got with all of these fantasy books. This shelf is completely fantasy, and I'm utterly thankful for this book. I love fantasy, and without the genre, where would I be? I love fantasy. I don't think I would have even continued reading if it was only contemporary. So I love the Red Queen for this, even though I do not love the series, at least how the ending went. But at least Red Queen I will be forever grateful and thankful for. So the next book that I have here is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I am grateful for this book because this is a book that got me into loving classic movies. So Alex Bailey, or Bailey Rydell, and Alex are complete classical movie fans. And this book just shows them. It's really almost based in a kind of retelling of the trope of You've Got Mail, if you know that movie. So I loved this book, and I'm so glad it got me into classical movies. I love old movies now, and I love watching them, and it also got me into the idea of collecting DVDs. Forever grateful and thankful for this one as well. The next book that I have here is Pollyanna by Eleanor H. Porter. This book is one of the first books that I remember keeping and loving. This book has stuck with me since the moment I finished it. And at the time I finished it, I was the type of person at the time that really never read. So every time I finished a book, I ran to my mom and was like, oh my goodness, I finished another book. And yeah, Pollyanna is a penniless orphan. She doesn't seem to have much to be happy about. And when she moves in with her harsh Aunt Polly, things start to look even worse. Luckily, Pollyanna has a special knack for seeing the bright side of life, and she'll need it. This tender tale of a girl with a glad heart will stay with you for years. And the lessons that I learned in this book has stayed with me till now, and I still remember this book, and I try to reread it every year. I'm kind of due for a reread now. But I love this book, Pollyanna. The next one I have here is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I don't know. That was probably completely wrong. Okay, a pilot stranded in the desert awakes one morning to see standing before him the most extraordinary little fellow. Please, asks the stranger, draw me a sheep. And the pilot realizes that when life's events are too difficult to understand, there's no choice but to succumb to their mysteries. He pulls out a pencil and a paper, and thus begins the wise and enchanting fable, and teaching the secret of what really is important in life. This book has taught me so much. It's one of the tropes where it talks about being a child and being an adult and grown-ups, and just how being an adult is not fun. It shows us how we lose ourselves when we become an adult, and I definitely don't want that to happen to me when I become an adult. So very grateful for this book. I love this book, and The Little Prince you will love him. You will love this book, I promise you. So this book I am very thankful for. The next book that I have here is a series of unfortunate events. This is the first book in a series. This book is specifically called The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. This book I loved, and I'm completely thankful for. I just actually finished this series last month, the 13th book, and just the persistence of the Baudelaire children, Violet, Klaus, and Sunny Baudelaire. It has taught me so much, and It taught me a lot, and I love this book for that. Count Olaf is the worst villain that I've ever seen. I watched a lot of villains in stories. I watch a lot of villains in superheroes and in movies, and also I watch a lot of villains in books. And Count Olaf is still one of the most disgusting villains I've ever seen. I can't get over it. I hate Count Olaf with a living passion. Nonetheless, I love the Baudelaire children. Just seeing them throughout all their unfortunate events of misery and woe and all the misfortunes that they have. It's ridiculous how much they have. Who would be able to live through that? And they're just kids, especially Sunny. She's a baby. But you just see them kind of grow up in this one kind of year, which I was shocked when it was like, this has only been going on for a year, and it's like, oh my. But I completely and utterly enjoyed it and adored it. Okay, so the next book that I have here is Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan, and this is the first book, and this book is called The Lightning Thief. This book is about this boy, Percy, and he is getting kicked out of boarding school again, but that's the least of his problems because Olympians and mystical monsters are jumping straight out of Percy's Greek textbook, and it's just a ride. It's a great ride. I love this book and I love Percy. I will forever love Percy in my heart, and I love him. I love this book. I love it, and I'm utterly a bunch grateful for this book. The next book I read, kind of fairly recent, and that is The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. Alex and Connor are two twins that you will fall in love with. You will love them, you will cherish them, and you'll just want them to be safe. They fall into this world, literally, and this colorful and magical world, and I just loved this book. I gave it 5 stars, of course. All of these books on this list I've given 5 stars, and this one is definitely one to read, especially if you love middle grade. It's one of the ones that made me admit that, yeah, I'm a middle grade and children's book enthusiast. So this book is awesome. Read it if you can. The last and final book is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis in the series The Chronicles of Narnia. This series is one of my favorite series of all time, and this book is one of my favorite books of all time. I love the Provincias, and I love this book, and I love what C.S. Lewis did with it. It is great. Narnia, the land beyond the wardrobe, the secret country known only to Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, the place where the adventure begins. Lucy is the first to find the secret of the wardrobe in the professor's mysterious old house. At first, no one believes her when she tells of her adventures in the land of Narnia, but soon Edmund and then Peter and Lucy discover the magic and meet Aslan the Great Lion for themselves. In a blink of an eye, their lives are changed forever. Read this book if you get the chance, and I'm utterly and completely grateful for this book. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys liked this video. All of these books mean the world to me, and I'm very grateful for all of them. So yes, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye.